Hey guys, welcome back to Pioneering Freedom. In today's tutorial, we'll be diving into one of the most powerful ways that you can take control of your Bitcoin, and that is by running your own Bitcoin node. If you're serious about sovereignty, privacy, and verifying your own transactions, this is where it starts. It's easier than you think, and I'll help you set it up using Bitcoin knots, and we can do that right here on your laptop. Let's go. What is a node and why should you care? Running a Bitcoin node means that you verify the network for yourself. You're not trusting anybody else, not a government, not a company, not even the developers. It's your tool for sovereignty. Back in 2017, what we had was known as the node wars, where certain actors tried to change Bitcoin's rules to allow for bigger blocks, increasing centralization. But it didn't fly because thousands of users ran their own nodes and rejected it. That moment proved users with nodes decided Bitcoin's future. And here's the thing, the node wars never really ended. Today, there's another battle brewing. Bitcoin Core developers are increasingly tolerating larger amounts of non-monetary data, think JPEGs and inscriptions, clogging up the blockchain. Some believe this threatens Bitcoin's role as a clean monetary protocol. So now more than ever, it matters that you run a node and align with your own values. Bitcoin Knots is the perfect option for this. It's a fork of Bitcoin Core, but with more transparency, more flexibility, and fewer politics. We'll go step by step to get it running on your laptop using Sparrow. Alright guys, so this tutorial is for people that want to download a node to their laptop. It's not for the guys that are running a Start 9 or on an Umbrel. So you can run Bitcoin Knots on both of those. But today's tutorial, we're going to be looking at doing it on the laptop. And look, right now the Bitcoin blockchain is roughly around 700 gigs. So if you got 700 gigs on your laptop, good for you. But if you don't, the solution is just to download it to an external hard drive. And then once it's on the external hard drive, just make sure that this hard drive is attached to your computer each time you open it, and it will automatically sync with the blockchain. So guys, what we're going to do is we're going to download Bitcoin Knots. I'll meet you on the desktop and we're going to verify it before we do anything with Sparrow. All right, guys. So the first thing you want to do is head over to bitcoinknots.org, and I will link to this in the show notes below. So head on over to this website, give it a read, and what you want to do is, depending on what platform you're running, you want to download the version for your platform. So I'm on a Mac, I'm going to download the Mac version. And then once the program's downloaded, I'm also going to download the digital fingerprint and the signatures. So we'll use these files to verify that this is legit Bitcoin Knots software. And I'll show you how to do that once it's downloaded. So let's just click download. We're going to go to downloads. I'm just going to put everything in the same folder. You got the checksum and then the signatures as well. So you should have all three files in one folder. And now we'll head over to Sparrow. And this is another reason I love Sparrow. I do have tutorials, which I'll link in the show notes below if you're not familiar with Sparrow. What you want to do is you want to come to Tools in Sparrow and go Verify Download. Okay, and then the first file you want to choose is it's a .asc file. So we're going to go browse for that. It's in our downloads folder. So .asc, we're going to select that, and then we're going to get the manifest, which is the txt, and then we hit open. And automatically it finds it, and it says that yes, it is all checked, and it is signed by Oliver Gagar. So we're good. So this is verified software. We can go ahead and download it. All right, guys. So now that it's verified, let's unzip the program file. So double click that, and that will open it up. I like to drag this to my applications folder, which I'll do right now. And once it's in my applications, I'll just drag this down to my dock, and then we're gonna hit open. All right, so depending on whether or not you have previously downloaded the Bitcoin Core blockchain, you might get this prompt, and it's essentially asking you, it says, as this is the first time the program is launched, you can choose where Bitcoin knots will be stored. So I'm using my external hard drive. Okay, so I'm going to my external hard drive here, and my Bitcoin Core node, which my previous Bitcoin Core node, the information is there. So I don't need to re-download the full blockchain because I've already done this with the Bitcoin Core. I just need to point my Bitcoin knots to that folder, and it will basically pick it up from where it left off. But if you've never done this before, you will start from scratch and you would essentially download the full blockchain. And that could take a while because it's right now sitting at 810 gigs. So just confirm the location to where you want to save the information and then just click OK. And then just say allow. And then you'll get this window, which looks very familiar if you've used Bitcoin Core. But essentially, what it needs to do now is it's going to download and resync with the blockchain. And depending on whether you've done this before or not with Bitcoin Core, it could take a couple of hours. Depending on your internet speed, it could take a couple of days. So just let it do its thing. And then once it's set up and downloaded, we will check back in with you. I recently partnered with the Bitcoin Way. If you're on your Bitcoin journey, but you still have questions regarding self-custody, cybersecurity, or even a Plan B residency because you want to escape communist Canada, use my referral link, which will be available in the show notes below. And you can enjoy a free consultation and you can talk to the team. I highly recommend these guys, and it's definitely worth investing in your future. All right. So while we're waiting for this to sync with the blockchain, I just wanted to show you some things about Bitcoin Nuts. So if you go to Bitcoin Nuts and you go to Preferences, it'll pull up this window with a couple of tabs. And the first one, you can check a pruning block storage. So you will verify and download the full blockchain, but then with your pruning, and I would just leave it as the default, but with your pruning, it will just keep the most recent transactions active on your hard drive. So it does streamline your hard drive a little bit. But the tab I wanted to focus on here is the spam filtering tab, because essentially this tab does not exist in Bitcoin Core. And all it is, it gets really detailed, and you can come in and check and uncheck things and tweak things and give it a read. But if you hover over each one, it'll actually give you a more in-depth detail as to what each one is. So ignore unrecognized receiver scripts, reject parasite transactions, and then I guess this is the big one: ignore transactions involving non-Bitcoin token asset overlay protocol. So you can get in here, you can get into the minutia a little bit and tweak things. And this is just interesting because you do have the option here with Bitcoin Nuts. So you can either leave everything as is, or you can get into the weeds, as I said, and set it up to your liking. But anyway, guys, so we're going to do that. And then once this is synced, we'll set up the config file and we'll be able to attach our wallet to our node. Checking on our download, we're almost done. So as soon as Bitcoin Knots has finished syncing with the blockchain, we will be able to basically configure it so that we will be able to use our Sparrow wallet with it. And I'll show you how to do that. All right, guys. So once Bitcoin Knots has downloaded and verified the full blockchain, you will get an option to create wallets, and you'll see this screen, okay, on your overview. If you've done no transactions, it'll all be zeroed out and there'll be nothing in the recent transactions. So what we want to do now is we want to configure this so that we can use Sparrow Wallet with our node. So to do that, we're going to go down to the menu and we're going to go to Preferences. Okay, and then on the main tab at the bottom, there's an open configuration file. We're going to open that. We're going to say continue. And then if you haven't done this already, but all you want to do is you write server equals 1. It's all lowercase, and server equals 1. If you haven't done this before, this will be totally blank. And just type in server equals 1 and then come to file, save that, and then you can close this out. And then you will need to restart Bitcoin Nuts to take effect. So we're going to do a quick restart, and then I'll show you how to configure Sparrow to your node. All right, guys. So the restart is important. So restart Bitcoin Knots and then head on over to Sparrow. We're going to head on over to Sparrow. And on Sparrow, we're going to go to Sparrow. We are going to go to settings. And we want to deal with the server tab at the bottom here. So if you've never connected to your own node before, you would have been using a public server. And the little pill at the bottom will be yellow. So to edit this, we just say edit existing connection. We click that. And then that'll give us an option to choose other servers. And we want to choose the Bitcoin Core option. Okay. And then that'll pull in your information, and also it'll point to your copy of the blockchain. So what we want to do is just say test connection. So I'm going to hit test connection, and it's pretty rapid. Right away, I get a green check mark. And then when I close this out, this little pill at the bottom should turn green. So I'm going to close this out, and now there's my pill. It's green. So now anything that I do within Sparrow, I am pushing it through my own node. Okay, so this is just one way to be more self-sovereign and more in control. And I highly recommend that anybody who is a Bitcoiner and wants to be self-reliant, run your own node, because you're adding to the security of the network, and it doesn't take that much to set it up. Especially if you're using Bitcoin Knots, you can run it on a desktop as well as a Start9 or an Umbrel. But this is just an easy solution to get your node up and running and to verify your own transactions through your own node. All right, guys, so I hope you found value in this tutorial. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe. And just a very easy way to get your Bitcoin Knots node up and running. I suggest everybody do it. And lots of content coming, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.